Year's runners-up Gaming Gladiators return to the International, but can they do it this time around? I'm joined by Quinn to find that out. Quinn, obviously, welcome back again to the International. How are you doing? How are you finding Copenhagen?
It's nice so far. It's nice to be out of boot camp and at actual TI. It's always a privilege to get to go and compete. So I'm grateful.
And how are you feeling about the game at the moment? How are you feeling about the meta in the mid lane and everything?
The meta in general is maybe a bit annoying. I think there's maybe a bit too much broken stuff. A lot of first phase bans are a bit locked. Meta is okay. It's okay, I think. I don't think it's like there's some heroes I wish they were there, but that aren't. But it's not so bad. It's okay.
So which heroes do you want to be playing at the moment?
I mean, I would love to play Void Spirit every game, but that hero's not very good right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, you've got like the most competitive games on Void Spirit still. Yeah, you love that hero. What is it about the hero which you find so enjoyable?
I don't know. I just think his movement and his the way you cast the spells just feels very good. I think it's very intuitive and just clicks.
But instead you're just locked into playing Pangolier still, even though they've nerfed it like 5 times.
Yeah, we'll see about this tournament. They may have pushed him over the edge.
You actually think they might have done it finally?
They might have. We'll see.
All right, we'll see. So throughout this year or last year, when you're on that dominant streak, were you ever able to look at yourself as a player and say I am the best mid laner at the moment. I am the GOAT. Did you ever have that moment?
Certainly not the GOAT. Not even close. I think there were points during the past couple of years where I was very good. I think calling yourself the best at any point is just ill-advised. At least maybe it works for some people and they need to think that way. But for me, I think whenever you start getting complacent, there's just a lot of good players now. People will catch you up and catch up to you and pass you up very, very quickly. And I think it's just I don't know, you playing Dota competitively is already a very ego-filled thing. I don't think you need to artificially put more ego into it, calling yourself the best or whatever. You play, and if you win, cool. If you lost, then you suck, and that's how it works,
Yeah. Well, what about your teammates or coaches or anything? Were they ever I think you're the best at the moment? And you were just no, or is that not the kind of conversations you're having?
I think maybe you can feel if people think you're really good or something right now, but most people, at least on this team, just tend to stray away from ego padding that much. Good jobs here and there are not forbidden, of course, but there's something that feels like crossing a line whenever you it gets too flagrant and self-indulgent, and I think that is somewhat dangerous.
So do you think that's why you're able to come back? We've seen teams in the past have very dominant sprees, and then they fall off and we don't really hear much from them again. But you had a really dominant spree last year. The start of the year was a little bit quieter, but then you've come back and you took the win at EWC. I mean, do you think part of your attitude towards the game is why you're able to do that?
Yeah, I think that is part of it. I think the fall off was a lot due to the things that make every team fall off. I think people just get complacent, and I think fighting that complacency in every way you can and continuing to have the fire and to look for the different ways in which you're trying to be the best is that is the hard part of staying winning, because everyone is trying to beat you and everyone else is trying really hard because they don't have that complacency factor from winning. So it's always a fight against that. And so I think anything you can do to push back against that will help with longevity.
So last year, obviously, you got so close to that Aegis. Team Spirit stood in your way. Now you've had the chance to kind of really look back. What do you feel about those grand finals? Are you happy that you went so deep at the International, or are you still a little bit sad that you couldn't make it all the way? I mean,
it was definitely a privilege to play in a TI final, and I think I'll always appreciate that. Obviously not happy with the result, and the tournament is tarnished because of the ending for sure. I want them to not win more than anything this year. I would, obviously I also really want to win, but beating them is mandatory.
Mandatory, I love that. All right, Quinn, thank you so much for coming to talk to us, and best of luck on your TI journey this year.
Thanks.